Hey, Western Carolina University. I am here with my parents, John and Tracy Yeadon, and we're going to be talking about the UP program.
All right. I am Tracy Yeadon. I'm Emily's mom.
I'm John Yeadon, Emily's dad.
All right. So we just wanted to give you a little bit of our perspective on the program as a whole. Emily's been home for about a week. She just graduated a week ago. So it's still fresh in our minds. So we thought this would be a good time to just give some perspectives. I think the first thing I would say is that it goes very quickly. And so you do all the work to get, your kiddo in the program and through camp and all the different application processes. And then it seems like it goes very fast from there. And I think I would recommend really just following the process that the UP program gives you. They give you a ton of tools. They give you some great resources. And we were pretty diligent for the most part. We weren't perfect, but we really tried to use all of the tools and the guidelines that they gave us, because it does go very quickly. And so that's, so you don't want to delay, I guess, is what I'm saying there. I would say in the beginning, It seems like a lot of meetings. So when you're kind of looking at the calendar, you're like, oh yeah, wow, we're there a lot. But each meeting has a distinct purpose, and there's like an unfolding process that happens over the 2-year period. And so they're intentional, and the subject matter is intentional, and those meetings are aligning with where you're at and where your kiddo is in the process. And so even though it seems like there's a lot of them, there's an intentionality around them, and each one of them is very, very good and valuable, I would say. The other thing I would say is that, for the parents, growing isn't comfortable for anyone, especially, for our young adults. And so one of the things that we decided early on is that we were going to allow the program and the process to unfold, and that we were going to support that. And so, as a parent, you might get, hey, I don't, like this professor, or I don't like this, rule, or I don't like this support. I mean, we would hear some of that. And I think some of the parents would hear some of that. And I think it would be easy to want to come to your kiddo's defense because they're uncomfortable and they don't like something. But that the whole point of the program is that they're growing and they're maturing. And so if we intervene, and we get, kind of pulled into some of that stuff, it is not in their best interest. And so I would recommend for anyone to allow the process to be the process. If you have a question, contact somebody from the UP program. Everyone is incredibly responsive. No one is going to allow your kid to be in a bad position or a bad situation. 90% of the time, they already know what's going on. They're handling it. But if we try to intervene from the parent side, it's not allowing them to grow. And so I think that that's a really important part.
Personally, allowing the UP program to actually facilitate all these different experiences for them that it would be easy for us to step in and handle, but that doesn't give any growth to the kids, and that doesn't help them with their independence. And I think letting the process work, which is hard. It's hard to do as a parent, because your kid is in there. Maybe it's struggling with another peer, maybe it's a roommate, or maybe it's whatever it might be. What was nice about the program here is we knew that those in charge, which would be Dr. Kelly, Alex, Susan, Brad, Meredith, and all the rest of them, they were handling it. And I think the biggest positive for us is we knew they were handling it. So we would hear about it, and then we would just suggest Emily to go back and talk to her peers or go address the situation, and have those supports and that help them get through whatever the situations were. Because if we were to go in and step in and it's not helping them, it's not letting them grow, and it's not preparing them. And that's what we're looking. Let's talk about some of the tools they give us. I think the biggest one for us was what are the jobs and what are the housing opportunities that we need to start looking into. And it's a big list, because you got to go out there and you got to go find 8 potential jobs and 8 potential places to live. And then each semester you drop those by 2. And a couple things that provided, number one was, what are the 8 jobs that they might be interested in? It also provides, what are the jobs they don't want to do? Because in our case, Emily was, one of our summer jobs that she got was working at a horse YMCA camp, which she loves horses, but it was a lot of work. We're talking cleaning stalls and fields, and there wasn't any real fun of riding horses. It was all maintaining the horses. And so what she found out was she doesn't want to do that for a living. And so we would have not have known that. Yeah, we wouldn't have known that had we not, went out there and found those jobs. She actually found the jobs. We just guided her, hey, give us 8 jobs you want to go do. Let's look them up. And so considering the YMCA one, we just happened to go to the YMCA to see what they had. And most of the time the YMCAs have child care, and that is not in Emily's wheelhouse. And so, but when we went online after we left there, she found the horse camp. Now, valuable experience because she had to deal with peers, she had to deal with a boss, she had to deal with weather, she had to deal with how to get there, all these different things that gave her a new perspective. She also found out what it was like to get a paycheck. And I think that's pretty cool, especially after working those hard hours, and then all of a sudden you get paid for that, which was really good. I think the roadmaps, Tracy did the majority of that.
Yeah, those were really valuable too. I think what that did is it facilitated some really good conversations, and just utilizing the tools and knowing that you were supposed to hit deadlines. It forced you to do it because, like I said, it goes fast. You feel like, oh my gosh, I've got all this time. We'll figure that out later. But instead, when you actually follow the timelines that they give you, you realize you really don't have that much time. So I think that was really helpful. It facilitated some good conversations for us. I think another thing related to the family connections, I would say that we were super fortunate. We had some great family connections, but I think that there's also a risk in the family connections that when your kiddo is frustrated about something, if you call another parent and say, hey, is your child also frustrated about the same thing? There's a tendency to then sort of say, well, it's not just my child, somebody else is upset about something. And again, it doesn't help your kid grow. It doesn't help your young adult go out and advocate for themselves. And so we try to take on the role that we would coach Emily and try to help her advocate for herself versus calling somebody, at the UP program, or calling, the peer, or calling the support, or calling and complaining about things like that. And so I think just being careful that the family connections don't become a way to complain or to say, oh yeah, it's not just my kid who's upset about this, it's somebody else's kid. Well, all the kids are going to be upset about something because they're growing, they're learning, they're getting stretched. And so that's a good thing. We want that to happen there because there is support, and it's in a very safe environment that they're learning these different skills of how to navigate relationships and how to navigate frustrations and disappointments. And we can coach, our young adults on our side, but then there's also a whole nother, track, a whole nother layer of people that can coach on the other side. So just allowing that to unfold the way that it's supposed to, I think is really important.
So we'll let Emily kind of tell you, because she just graduated, and what her next plans are.
So as my dad said that I just graduated, and my next plans are going to a dog training school called Highland Canine. It's like 24 minutes away from Statesville, and I'm going there starting July 1st all the way through December. So it's about a 6 months program, and I'm going to be learning how to be a professional dog trainer. So I could be a search and rescue, or in the master's program. And how the UP program has helped me with that is basically showing me to gain more independence, to wake up on time, go to classes, go to my work jobs. And personally, I am really glad that they taught me how to be on a schedule, because my life would be a little bit crazy trying to figure out the time. So being on a schedule isn't too bad, but it's also kind of nice, so you can see what you're doing for the day. So you don't have to worry about I'm going to go do this at this time, but you might be changing your mind. So you have a set schedule. And so basically that's telling me how to cook my own meals, what to have, and how everything's set up and organized throughout the day.
So really, hopefully this kind of gives you an insight on a parent's perspective of how these programs work and how the one at Western Carolina works. We're very excited that we found that program. We're very excited Emily was able to go there. We feel that she's prepared and off to the next adventure, which is
dog training school.
Dog training school, where there is no support. There are no cafeterias. There's none of that stuff. So, part of us would probably be freaking out a little bit without the program of the UP program, because they got her trained and ready and prepared to be independent, and she's going to go out and show the world what she can do. And we're very appreciative of all the staff there at WCU.
I would just say that the final thing is we've been talking even for the past week about the tools that she learned while she was at Western Carolina at the UP program, and how is she going to then transfer those tools to her new environment. And so when she did graduate, she immediately went to an apartment that we have an apartment here on our property, but she did not move back into our home. She moved into her apartment, and so she's been cooking her meals. She's been sleeping out there. So she's already been implementing some of the tools and skills that she learned. And so we think that's a really good step for her. And then when she goes to her dog training school, she'll be about 90 minutes from home. So she'll be 100% independent at that point. So we're just very appreciative, very grateful, and could not speak highly enough of all of the staff and the entire program. So very, very fortunate.
Yeah, we hope this helps, and good luck to all of you that are in these programs yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.